Hey guys, it is November 24th of 2010. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I might I might be posting my Halloween video on Thanksgiving. I guess it's better than Christmas. I meant to make a video the other day because we tried a different process in grocery at work the other night. The cats are just going crazy today. Instead of having our own separate aisles, we each, we teamed up. We had, one team was Cindy and Drew and myself, and the other one was everybody else with Mary. Whoever else was in grocery was over with Mary, doing stuff. Wow. It was something different. I mean, it was, we didn't even downstack the pallets, but, my team started at 3 and worked down, and that means our pallets were a little bit mixed, quite a bit mixed. We had 3 stuff, 4 stuff, 5 stuff, 6 stuff. I think Pam was doing 7 by herself. I don't know. Maybe that's what they decided upon. I don't know. I didn't talk to them all night long, but except for when we happened to cross each other. But we did have a chance to run a little bit of backstock. But I mean, who knows? We might have been able to do that anyway. I don't know. It was good to break up monotony, because instead of being stuck in one aisle, it was like, I was in 3, I was in 4, I was in 5. I was kind of back and forth. So I mean, it was good for that. And plus, you had other people with you, so the work it didn't seem as much like work, because you were chatting and kind of having fun, at the same time, instead of just work in solitude. Solitary solitude. So, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing that process every once in a while, and break up the monotony a little bit, That's always nice. But that was 2 days ago, I think. Not last night, but the night before last. Or the night before last. I don't know, I went to see Harry Potter yesterday with Nick, which I enjoyed it. It's really long. It's 2.5 hours, and it feels a lot longer than that, but I guess they have a lot to cram in there. But really, today, I met more of my neighbors, and not through will of my own. I mean, I don't mean that. I don't mean that to sound rude, but I was walking, home and up the road here. I always see there's these 2 kids that there's sometimes there's other kids around too that are waiting for the bus or whatever, and apparently they recognize me. Because, I happened to get up to their house just as their mom was, letting them out the door, and she was like, okay, you guys go up there and stand up there, or whatever, and, so, I mean, I waited for them, because I thought maybe they were going to cross the road and go to the car across from, because sometimes, they get in a car or whatever, because I stand there and I wait while the car pulls out or whatever. So I thought they were going to go across the street and get in the car, but they didn't. They just, walked down the sidewalk. So, here I am, following her kids, and, I have no idea what's going through her head at this moment. So I thought to myself, instead of following her kids, the first instance I get, I'm gonna, walk along the street so that I can get around them and get home, And I thought I heard her say something about, hey, you, but, there was a car going by at the same time, and it was kind of loud, so it's I couldn't really tell. And then a second time, the girl, even louder, was like, hey, you! So at this point, I'm like, okay, they're talking to me. I guess I should, because I'm not one to, ignore, if I'm not sure you're talking to me, I'll just, I guess I'll, cautiously ignore. I don't know really how to put that. If I'm not sure you're talking to me, I don't want to have that, oh, what? And then well, I'm not talking to you, and I'm like, oh, it's disappointing for everybody. But so they were asking me. She was like, "Are you walking to school?" I was like, "No, I'm walking home." I was like, I kind of wish that I was walking home from, or walking to school. Things were a hell of a lot easier back then. Like, the boy started, he asked me this barrage of questions. Like, I don't even remember. One of them was like, "Do you play video games?" And I was like, well, at first they were asking me where I lived. And I was saying something about, a little blue house up the road, because I was thinking, I was just like, maybe that'll be descriptive enough for him. And then, he was like, "Is that the one where there's a house on top of a house?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "I think I might be across the road from that, though, because I think they're talking about that apartment thing over there, where, or duplex, I guess you might call it a duplex." But I was like, "No, it's a little blue house." And then I was trying to remember, the name, and I was like, "Do you remember?" I was like, "Do you know Kenny Games?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "Ava and Kenny Games?" I'm like, "They're the ones that used to live in my house." And he was like, "No." And then, like, he started asking me, like, all these people. He's like, "Do you know my mom?" And I was like, "Does she work at Walmart?" Because, I think I had told him by this point, because they said something about they had seen me. They're like, "You walk this way a lot." And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "I work overnights at Walmart, or at a local retail store." I could have been completely lying to them. You don't know. I was like, "I work from 10 o'clock at night to, 6:30 in the morning, so I'm always, walking home pretty early." He was asking me, he's like, "Do you know my mom?" And I was like, "Does she work at Walmart?" And he was like, "No, like, she works at the library." And they were like, "The Trails Regional Library." I was like, "No, I don't go in there. No, I never go in there." He's like, "Oh." He's like, "She's the lady that's up there in the gray coat." I thought he said something about walking this way, and I'm already like I don't know what's going through this mom's head. I thought she was gonna come running up there. She's like, "Who the hell are you, and why are you raping my kids?" And I'm like, "I'm not doing anything. Like, they stopped me." So it's like I already don't know what this mom is thinking, but they're just standing there like chatting away. They're like, "Yeah, we're waiting for our cousin," because apparently he lives in this house. And because at one point, but that's what, I was trying to tell them where I lived without really telling them where I lived, because it's just like I don't want them to I wouldn't necessarily mind if they showed up, but in if they just if they just start showing up without their mom's knowledge or something, or their parents' knowledge or something. But, I mean, the weird thing was, he asked me, he's like, "Do you know that house up there that's, I think he said fallen apart or something?" I can't remember. I'd obviously seen them come from that house. So, or I think he said the White House with holes in it, maybe? I can't remember. And I was like, "The one with the big porch?" And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can you come by for a visit sometime?" And I was like, luckily, quick thinking was with me. I'm not fully awake right now, but quick thinking was with me. And I was like, "Well, maybe." I was like, I sleep a lot during the day, though, because I work at night, so it's just like, if I don't ever show up, maybe that'll be a good enough reason. Because, I don't know, it's kind of, I mean, some kids are just friendly, and they want to talk and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know anything about their household, but I'm like, you're asking a complete stranger to come over to your house, for a visit? You don't know me, I guess I walk by a lot, so they feel like they know me. I don't know, but I'm like, I don't know, that just flips a switch in my head that, maybe, I mean, maybe he's not getting attention. I'm not saying necessarily from his parents, but maybe he's just a kid that doesn't have very many friends, or any friends or something. It just says to me that kid's not getting attention somewhere that he's wanting, that he's needing or whatever, But I mean, like I said, I don't know. I don't know their household. I don't know their life, but just so that I remember, it's Lincoln and Ariel. I remembered hers because and I knew his name started with an L, and that's why I asked him again before I took off, because it's one of those things, like I want to show people that I'm paying attention, and especially with kids, like kids, that they go through this development of, being okay with themselves, and like I'm okay, people like me, sort of thing. I mean, that carries on obviously into your formative years or whatever, but like these are your formative years, I would think, being a kid, and like knowing that you're acceptable and you're okay and people like you and stuff like that, like I like to show people that, like I do it with everybody. Like there's a guy that I haven't seen him for a while, that comes in at night, that I've seen a couple times, and he talked to me for a while one night. And the next time I saw him, I asked him how his classes were going, because I don't know if he remembered having that conversation with me or not. But that was a detail I remembered, was he said he was taking classes. And because, he was talking about being an old-timer going back to school and blah, 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 all this other stuff. So I asked him, how his classes were going. Because I want to show people that I'm paying attention, and, like what you're saying matters to me, basically, But especially with like, with like younger kids or, people like that, like I want to show them that, like I'm paying attention and that they matter, because they're kids, and, they really, I think they really need that stable, like I'm okay sort of thing, So like if they ever see me again, and they're like, hey, how's it going? I want to be like, hey, hey, Lincoln, hey, Ariel, and just to show them that I remember them, and, they can be like, oh, somebody remembers me, I must be important, I'm not sure I'll recognize them because they were all bundled up in their coats and stuff. But I guess if they ever stop me ever again, I don't know. It's just so weird. Like, like I said, I already don't know what that mom is thinking, and I don't want her to think like, I'm some serial child molester or something. Maybe they'll never talk to me again. Maybe I'll never run into them again or whatever. But hopefully they don't figure out which house is mine, and then they just start, showing up here. I'm like, I'm okay with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm okay with that. But it's just like, I hope they just don't start showing up here without their parents being aware. If they were to start showing up around here, I would want their parents to be aware that their kids were coming down, just so that it's not just like, oh, I'm the secret adult that hangs out with your child. That's not creepy. So, here in a little bit, I don't know what time the bus comes by to get them, but I was kind of hoping that, they would be gone by the time I got back, because it's like, oh, look, I'm this strange adult that you've never talked to before, and look at me, I'm lurking around your child, I don't want somebody to get an idea that isn't true, like, it's like, your kid stopped me to talk to me. But I do have to go back out to Quick Cash today and pay them off. So I'm going to go ahead and pay him off, and I may have to borrow a little bit of money again for Friday, because instead of, since we didn't go on our trip last weekend, I guess we're going to do it this weekend. So depending on how much I have left over by the time I got to pay the electric bill, I think it is. Just look for the envelope with the yellow piece of paper in it. but I think that's like $120 or something, and then I gotta send off like 60, I think, to U.S. Bank. So, and I have 200 some left over, with the money that I took out to pay quick cash back with. So we'll see. But anyway, that's my last few days so far. I hope you guys get fat and happy here on Thanksgiving. Of course, that's tomorrow. I am going to be going to Mark's parents' house. He invited me out there. So, I mean, as it turns out, we're family anyway. So, but remind me to tell you all that story sometime. So, I hope you're, you know, wherever, if you're with family, if you're with friends, you know, wherever you are tomorrow, just be thankful for who you're spending the day with, and get really, really fat, because it's okay this time of year. I wasn't going to have the TV on, but it's like my only source of light. Well, I ended up falling asleep. Here, my lovely comfy chair. And, just in case you didn't get that. Oh, that's thumbnail. Pretty much all morning, so I didn't get anywhere, didn't do anything. Well, actually, both of the frickin' cats jumped up here and was snuggling with me. So I ended up falling asleep, and after yesterday, I ended up getting like 2 hours of sleep, I think, between, you know, going to Nick's and watching Harry Potter and whatever. But just as I woke up and I was thinking about leaving out, because I was trying to figure out, I'm like, do I want to go to the Chinese buffet first, or do I want to go pay quick cash? And I was still sitting here in the chair, and I got a call from Mark, and him and Sarah were going out to have buffet at Pizza Hut. So, ended up going for Pizza Hut buffet. Anything in my teeth other than my teeth? So yeah, instead of having Chinese buffet, I ended up having pizza buffet with Mark and Sarah. So that was cool, you know. I had company. We laughed and guffawed. So it was a good time. I had drop me off at Quick Cash, and they ended up, you know, going and getting gas, coming back and picking me up. But that was the best. That was the best loan I believe I've ever gotten. The best payday loan ever. Because not only, okay, I borrowed $300. I wonder if the thing's down here. Oh shit, I'm sitting on that. Yeah, I borrowed $300, and this becomes important later. And I got a thing in the mail for half off my, obviously I'm not going to pay less than, but anyway, I'm giving it away. I got a thing in the mail, as I've said like 8 times already, that gave me half off of my interest for the payday loan. So already I was paying half the interest. And I figured out the trick is go and pay them off as early as you possibly can, because they do interest by day. So the sooner you pay them off, the less interest you have to pay. So I went in and did that, and I gave her it was like $319 something, I don't know. That must be what that is. See it on here? I gave her, you know, her $300 and then a $20. And she goes over, she tippity types on the computer, and then she goes over to the filing cabinet, and I see her come back with a little referral slip. So apparently somebody, I know a long time ago Sean did, like, because if you say, you know, Martheev referred me, then they write down your information, and the next time you come in and get a loan, you're supposed to get, you know, money off. So she hands me back the $20 that I just slipped her, you know, so I got my services for free. I'm that good. So yeah, like I ended up borrowing $300 and ended up paying them $300. I didn't pay any interest whatsoever. That was fucking awesome. That was the best payday loan ever. I was trying to look at it here. This is what it came out to be. I guess they charged me 71 cents. I don't really know. But you can see I started out with the 330, and then marketing times 1 is 0, whatever the hell that means. I guess that's what this 20 is the refer a friend thing, I guess. Fees $10.71, so my total ended up being a little bit less than, which must be why, that's the change that she gave me. So I ended up, I ended up paying 71 cents less for my loan than I originally, That is how you do it, baby. That was awesome. But you know what else is awesome? I updated my Real Player today. It popped up that it had some kind of update or whatever, and I noticed as I was going through YouTube, it said, download this video. So I'm like, that gave me an idea. Because, you know, now I have Real Player, and I can download videos off the internet, any video that I want, even yours. Any of yours that I want. They now belong to me! No, I won't give you the muhahaha. That's for another day. But what comes in handy is now I can do things like this.
Okay. Ready?
Oh, okay, yeah, I am ready. I am. Actually, this song has a long intro, so I'll probably clip all this out until we get to the important piece.
Thick as thieves, the last of leaves in the winter sun.
I now have Megan
Holding
Julius.
fast, this freezing branch is home to us.
On my iPod!
Step right over the line and on to borrowed time. When's life not waiting to die? Waiting to divide.
So yeah, now all of these people that I like on YouTube, like, I can download their music and I can have it on my iPod. I'm so excited. I keep finding new little tricks that excite me so much. I used my Corel Video Studio Pro, and actually I downloaded it as a WAV first, which worked. I downloaded it as an MP4 second, which also worked. The only problem is, when I got it into iTunes, I couldn't add artwork, and I wanted to be able to add artwork. So I ended up saving it as a Windows Media Audio or something, I guess. Yeah, Windows Media Audio, WMA. And so when I put it in iTunes, it converted it into some weird... It's like, well, you know, technically we can't do Windows Media Audio, but that was a text message, by the way. We'll convert it to this file so we can add it to your iPod. I'm like, okay. So, like, I know it's going to go on the iPod, and then I check, right-click, go to my Get Info, whatever, and then I'm like, I see the little artwork tab, and I'm like, I can add artwork! So, go away, you. That was the little artwork she was using for her band on MySpace. So I just kind of stole that, too. And now... she is in there right beside Miss Melanie C. So now I have new tricks. At least I can finally stop turning them, because I'm getting too old for that shit.